Hey, my beautifuls, and welcome to tonight's installment of Mistaken Identity. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and read y'all the book. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, it's a labor of love, and I'm all about that. But also, before I get started, this is not a children's book. This is an adult book. So, there you go. This is an adult book. So, I'm about to go ahead and get started reading. All right, we at chapter 2. We're gonna do chapters 2 and 3 today. Okay, chapter 2, MOMCAT. Hold on, wait a minute, I just ate y'all. Hold on. It had been about it had been about 4 months since Tika had seen her favorite cousin and aunt. She thought about the conversation her and Marcus had often. Tika worried for them. She lamented over the thought of her blood being abused by some junky piece of shit like Grady. There were no calls, nothing. It was almost as if they had dropped right off the face of the earth until one still December night. Hold on. Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. I had dominoes. Bear with me. Until one still December night, loud screams and cries broke the peaceful silence and jarred Tika from her sleep. Say, man, you better get your raggedy ass on the way from here before I have to fuck you up, boomed Peter. Tika knew something was horribly wrong. She had never heard her father talk like that. Tika all but flew down the 3 flights of stairs to see what was going on right under the roof of her own home. The scene she saw was horrifying. Marcus's face was covered in blood that seemed to be pouring from everywhere, while Auntie Josephine held him and sobbed. Her purple MOMCAT nightgown was torn in shreds, and her beautiful long sandy brown hair was tousled all about. Peter was standing, fuming on the walkway. Anger was like lightning bolts in his eyes. Clara tried to get her husband to come inside as the tail lights from Grady's puke green country squire sped off into the night. Come in, Peter. The neighbors are stirring, a shaken Clara suggested. Peter turned his gaze to his wife, and his features began to soften. He embraced his wife to his chest and whispered to her, Baby, go see about Clara. Go see about Josie. Clara nodded in agreement and went to comfort her disheveled sister. Tika snapped out of her momentary paralysis and took Marcus to get cleaned up. Marcus's lip was busted. His nose was bleeding, and obvious bruises under both his eyes were beginning to present themselves. Tika led him into the bathroom so that he could shower. She carefully picked out a set of clean pajamas and set of towels and placed them on the sink's counter for him. Marcus sat solemnly on the corner of Tika's bed. He jumped slightly when she stepped beside him. Cuz, the bathroom is ready for you, Tika uttered gently. Marcus stood up slowly as if the movement pained him. He began to walk over to the bathroom, turned and then said, Did you mean what you said? He hesitated briefly, then continued in a cold tone. Did you? Marcus didn't need to repeat himself again, because Tika understood exactly what he meant. Tika remembered what she said on the 4th of July. She just somehow thought that Marcus didn't hear her, but apparently he did. Tika softly cleared her throat and said, Go take care of yourself, Marcus. We'll talk about it after you pass some sleep. Marcus nodded his head and disappeared into the bathroom. Tika sat up for the rest of the night, her mind racing. She thought about Grady and the way he was treating her family. She began to plot the way she would get rid of him. This is crazy, she thought, but I gotta do something. Tika looked over at her cousin, who was finally able to drift off to sleep after he tossed and turned for what seemed like forever. Tika felt horrible for what he was going through and could not understand why her aunt continuously went back to that poor excuse of a man. Chapter 3, A World of Pain. Aunt Josephine was gorgeous. Even though the years of stress, the beatings, psychological abuse began to slightly show up on her face, she had honey-colored eyes that sparkled, long, flowing, thick, sandy brown hair, and the smoothest dark skin most have ever seen. To this day, everyone goes on and on about how Josephine had the voice of an angel and how she could have been a runway model. That is, until she met Grady's evil ass. Now she has heavy bags under her eyes, and the glow that she once had that shined so brightly had been dulled down to a slight shimmer. She was one hell of an actress, though. The way Aunt Josephine could command the attention of everyone in the room and make them all laugh, you would never think to believe the torture that she had endured. Excuse me one more time. Grady was the kind of guy you warn your daughters about and teach your sons not to be. When Aunt Josephine met Grady, her mother Meemaw warned her about him. Baby, I know you think you're in love, but that boy ain't right, Meemaw told the young, headstrong Josephine. Josephine gave her mother a crestfallen look and said softly, "You just don't like him 'cause he white, Mama." "Is that what you think, child?" She said, "Listen to me and you listen good, here. That man gonna bring you a world of pain. Baby, I can see it in his eyes. He ain't right." "You just don't understand him, Mama. He's been through a lot, but I'm here for him now, and that's what he needs," she said. "But what about what you need, Josie? Don't you lose yourself behind no man. Times is different for when I come up. You can get out there and really make something of yourself, instead of chasing Grady no account ass around." "Mama, that's enough," Josie yelled. "I love Grady, and nothing you or anybody else has to say will change that. Yes, he has his problems, but at least he's been there for me and Marcus after his father died." Josephine paused and looked at her mother deeply in the eyes and said, "I love him, Mama. We're getting married whether you bless it or not." At that moment, Meemaw's eyes widened and she grabbed for her chest. All she wanted was for her two daughters to be happy and not to suffer like she did. Meemaw knew the devil that lurked behind Grady's eyes because she too had been married to a man just like him. Mama, you all right?" said Josephine. "It's best you go and leave now, child," said Meemaw in a stern tone. "But take heed to my warning. That man gonna bring you a world of pain. A world of pain." Josephine was the younger of the two Bartlett daughters, so she never got to experience the abuse that her mother suffered through at the hands of their late father, Samuel Bartlett. He passed on before she was even born. Clara wasn't as fortunate. She remembered the black eyes and handprints that Pawpaw left across their mother's face, the lies he told, and the other women that caused their mother pain and shame. Clara was very disappointed in her younger sister because she too had warned her about Grady. In fact, they had fallen out about him on many occasions. Clara came in from the cold to find her sister sitting on the floor sobbing with her face buried deeply into one of the black suede ottomans in the great room. Clara couldn't help but roll her eyes deeply, as this was not the first nor the second time that she was thrown into the drama of her sister's abusive relationship. She bit her bottom lip as to not speak the first things that popped into her head. She didn't want to offend her sister and send her right back into the arms of that fucking monster, even though she knew that Josephine would end up back there eventually anyway. "So, are you done for real now, or what, Josie?" "Well, there goes trying to avoid being offensive," thought Clara to herself. Josephine abruptly stopped sobbing and picked her head up out of her hands. She turned to her big sister and spoke in an unexpectedly calm tone. "Clara, you could never understand what I've been through. You think this shit is easy? I didn't have everything handed to me. You have never experienced what I have, so you can just climb down off that high horse and stop judging me at any moment." "And just what in the hell is that supposed to mean, Josie?" Clara retorted. "I didn't have anything handed to me. I just played my cards right. You have no idea what I've been through either, little sister." Clara felt herself getting upset at Josephine And with everything that had already happened tonight, she just wanted to calm things down and comfort her Josie. Clara's Clara's facial expression began to soften. She knelt next to her baby sister and wrapped her arms around her, and they both cried softly. "Oh, Josie," Clara whispered, "I know it's been rough. I just want you to see that you don't have to take Grady's shit. You got us. Look at what he's done to Marcus. If you go back, who knows what'll happen." "I get it, sis. I get it. I won't go back this time. I promise." Josephine softly nuzzled her face into Clara's chest, and the two sat together in silence. But somehow, in the back of her mind, Josephine knew that she had just told the most dangerous lie of her life. Whew, y'all. Josephine done finally left Grady's stinking ass, okay? Or did she? Find out in tomorrow's installment of Mistaken Identity, Chapter 4. Alright, y'all. So that was chapters 2 and 3. MOMCAT, or A World of Pain, and MOMCAT and A World of Pain. Sorry, I'll transfix stuff. But MOMCAT and A World of Pain. I hope y'all enjoyed that, and I shall be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow too to read chapters 4 and 5. All right, y'all. Much love. I love y'all. Good night. Oh, what you reading? Hey, I enjoyed it. Thank you, Lux VW. I appreciate you. So what I was reading is my book. It's a book called Mistaken Identity that I wrote. And I released it. I started writing it back in like 2018. And I started, just wanting to write a fiction novel. I was like, I want to write a fiction novel. And then I wanted it to be kind of interactive and immersive. You see what I'm saying? So what I did was I started writing, and the story would just fall together. And so I started releasing it in chapters on Amazon. So it's an 8-book series so far. And it's chapters. Each book is a chapter. The first one is 1 chapter, but then after that is 2 chapters apiece. So we're up to chapters 15, and I'm still writing. So I'm going to be releasing and picking it back up because I started focusing a lot on my sauce businesses and different stuff. And I'm like, I can't neglect my writer side. Like, that's what I do too. And I've been doing that since I was a kid. Like, I've always loved to write poetry and different other things too. So this is a fiction novel. It's a cross-genre fiction novel. So there's mystery, there's murder, there's erotica, there's intrigue. And this is not for kids. Again, I'm going to say that again. This is not for children. It's a grown folk book. We're going to talk about grown folk shit. Y'all going to see what I'm talking about. Y'all going to see what I'm talking about when we really get into, okay? But these, I wanted to write books that shone a light on, just seeing blackness in a different light. I wanted to see us having money and being affluent, and different stuff like that. Just different types of just different types of things instead of the same repetitive tropes over and over again. Now, there are some things that are, similar, stuff like that, but I really wanted to do something that was just different, and that's what I did. So it's called Mistaken Identity. There's a lot of just different shit. There's magic in it. It's just a lot of shit in this book. It's fire. So come back. Come back tomorrow as we get into chapters 4 and 5. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much again. But yeah, that's what I'm writing. That's what I'm reading to y'all right now and what I've been writing. So stay tuned, because once we get y'all all caught up, there's going to be new chapters. And I'm thinking about turning this into a straight up audio book. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think this is going to be an audible, y'all. Because I got the microphone and I got all the stuff, the equipment. So that's what I believe that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, definitively, we're going to turn this into an audio book. Because I really want to make it immersive. I want to have like background music, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all. I love y'all, and I got to go. Bye. Till next time.